Samuel never expected to buy another man's wife. The desert wind carried dust across the small town of Cedar Ridge as 34-year-old Samuel Thompson rode his horse thundered down Main Street. His weathered face showed years of working cattle ranches across Texas. His dark beard framed kind brown eyes that had seen too much loneliness for one lifetime. A crowd gathered in the town square caught his attention. Men in cowboy hats stood in a circle, voices rising in cruel excitement. Samuel dismounted and pushed through the group, his jaw tightening at what he saw. A young woman, maybe 24, stood barefoot on a wooden auction platform. Her long blonde hair hung in tangled waves, and her faded green dress could not hide the gentle curve of her pregnancy. Tears streaked her dirt-stained cheeks as she clutched her swollen belly protectively. "What is the bidding on this burden?" shouted a thin man with greasy hair. "My wife comes with a child she carries. I need money for whiskey more than I need mouths to feed." Samuel recognized Marcus Webb, a gambler who had lost everything at poker tables. The woman beside him was his wife, Emma. Samuel had seen him around town, noting the fear that always shadowed her pretty face. $50, called out a rough-looking miner. 60, yelled another man with yellow teeth. Samuel watched Emma flinch with each bid, her green eyes darting desperately around the crowd for any sign of mercy. Her husband Marcus counted the money already, his face showing no emotion for the woman. He was selling like livestock. $100, Samuel called out, his deep voice cutting through the noise. The crowd turned to stare at him. His reputation as a fair but tough rancher was well known. Marcus Webb grinned wickedly, seeing easy profit. "100 going once," Marcus shouted. "Going twice." Sold to Samuel Thompson. Samuel stepped forward and helped Emma down from the platform. Her legs shook so badly she could barely stand. He draped his coat around her shoulders and led her away from the jeering crowd. "Why did you do that?" she whispered, her voice barely audible above the wind. "Because it was right," Samuel replied simply. He lifted her gently onto Thunder and rode toward his small cabin on the outskirts of town. The one-room home was simple but clean, with a stone fireplace and wooden furniture he had made himself. "You can stay as long as you need," he told her, settling her into the only bed while he prepared to sleep on the floor. Emma stared at him with confusion and gratitude. "You do not even know me." "I know enough," Samuel said, lighting the fireplace against the evening chill. "I know you deserve better than what that man gave you." Over the following weeks, Samuel proved his word. He treated Emma with quiet respect, giving her space to heal from the trauma of being sold like property. He brought her fresh water each morning, cooked simple meals, and never asked for anything in return. One morning, while Samuel was mending fence posts, a small boy appeared at their cabin. Tommy Jenkins, 8 years old and the town preacher's son, had heard about Emma from his father's prayers for troubled souls. "I brought you this," Tommy said shyly, handing Emma a drawing he had made with charcoal on brown paper. It showed a woman holding a baby under a bright yellow sun. Emma smiled for the first time in months. "It is beautiful, Tommy. Thank you." The boy began visiting regularly, always bringing small gifts, wildflowers, smooth stones, drawings, and stories from town. His innocent friendship helped Emma remember joy again. As autumn approached, Emma's pregnancy advanced. Samuel prepared for the birth, gathering supplies and asking the town doctor to be ready. Despite everything, Emma worried about the future. "What happens after the baby comes?" she asked one evening as they sat by the fire. "You decide," Samuel answered. "This is your home for as long as you want it to be." On a cold November night, Emma went into labor. Samuel rode hard to fetch Dr. Carson, while Tommy sat with Emma, holding her hand and telling her funny stories about his pet chickens. Hours later, Emma delivered a healthy baby boy. As she held her son for the first time, tears of joy replaced her tears of fear. The baby had bright blue eyes and tiny fingers that gripped Samuel's thumb with surprising strength. "What will you name him?" Tommy asked, leaning over to see the baby better. "Hope," Emma whispered. "His name is Hope." Samuel felt something shift deep in his chest. This tiny child, born from such difficult circumstances, had brought light into their small cabin. Tommy drew pictures of the baby. Emma sang lullabies. Samuel carved a wooden cradle with his own hands. Winter passed peacefully. Samuel continued working his land while Emma recovered and cared for Hope. The baby thrived under the loving attention of his makeshift family. Tommy visited daily after school, reading stories and helping with chores. One spring morning, Marcus Webb appeared at the cabin, drunk and demanding money. "That is still my wife and child," he slurred. "I want them back." Samuel stepped between Marcus and the cabin door. His voice remained calm but carried steel. "You sold your rights that day in town. They belong to themselves now." Marcus reached for his gun, but Samuel was faster. Without violence, he simply took the weapon away and pointed toward town. "Go sleep it off, Marcus. Do not come back here." The man stumbled away, muttering curses. Emma watched from the window, holding Hope close. "He cannot hurt you anymore," Samuel assured her. That evening, Emma made a decision that had been growing in her heart for months. "I want to stay," she told Samuel. "Not because I need to, but because this feels like home." Samuel nodded, understanding the difference. "Then this is your home." As Hope grew from baby to toddler, their unusual family found happiness in simple moments. Tommy taught the boy to draw. Emma's laughter returned fully. Samuel discovered that the lonely ache in his chest had disappeared, replaced by contentment he had never known possible. The miracle Samuel never knew he needed was not just saving Emma and Hope. It was learning that family comes in many forms, and sometimes the greatest blessings arrive in the most unexpected ways. In their small cabin under the vast Texas sky, three broken souls had found completeness together.